Hi everybody, it's Julie, and today I have ink and dauber, brush, sponge, those kinds of things, ideas. We are going to be making page ideas and embellishments, mostly the bases, okay? So these are bases for projects for junk journals. And this is for the September Something Special Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge, where they are to make a page idea and an embellishment idea, and then there's other details that they have to do. But each of 16 different tools and elements that they have to use. So one of them is ink and dauber. So today I'm going to show you at least 7 ideas. Actually, it'll be several. So let's get right to it. Okie dokie. So I'm going to be making a couple of different, I'm going to be using my spun sugar with my pink brush and my pink dauber, brand new brush. And I'm going to be using peeled paint with, this is how I mark these brushes. These come from Dollar General and Dollar Tree. The ones, I think this is a Dollar General one here. And I use a washi tape to mark it, so I know that that is to be used for green. So there's that. I've pulled out some things to use with my inks and daubers and some things to use them on. Okay, so several ideas I've got here, so let's jump right in. Okay, put these there, put these here. I'll be surrounding. So the first thing I'm going to do is one of my favorite things, and it is to take the ink and using my dauber, just adding ink to a page that I think just needs some help. Okay, so I think this page needs some help, so I'm going to just go around and randomly add color to the whole page, and then it will be ready for me to use in my projects that I'm working on. Okay, so remember that the first place that you put your ink down is where it's going to go. Now we can try it also with the brush. Okay, and you can see the brush is going to go much faster. The ink goes on the brush and comes off the brush so much easier. Okay? Okay, so I'm sure you've got that, and we'll move on. So that is adding ink to a background. And that one was embossed and had the gold foil, so that's pretty cool. So the next one that we're going to do is we are going to add, this is one of Kara's pages for the upcoming, actually we're in the middle of it. Started posting yesterday for the J&C Fall 22 collab challenge hop, and this is Kara's day 3. And so I'm just going to take my dauber and I'm going to do large polka dots, and that is going to take care of the back of this paper, and I love it. Okay, now I have also come back in with the same color stamp inside the dots before, but we're not doing stamps today because obviously you can use your ink with stamps. But there, now I have a page that I can actually use. You can still go ahead and go around and edge your paper, but I love that. So using your dauber and making dots. So here is Kara's day 5, and it's another collage. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and, let's see, I'll just grab, we want to use a new one now. Well, aha, there's a clean one. Okay. So I've posted in the Scrap All About It with Dear Julie Julie Facebook group. I posted a video from a Nick the Booksmith challenge I did 3 years ago, and I did the dot. I didn't have very many things to use because we were stranded on a desert island, but I had some ink and I had paper. And I think I had a sponge. And so another thing I did, I call this wallpaper stripes. Okay? Now as I'm doing the wallpaper stripes, and you can see I'm going to get this nice edge, I can start going around the paper that I'm using. And I'll get a nice edge on my paper that I'm using. Okay, so oops. Okay, and then I can turn it. So you see our wallpaper stripes. That's what it makes me think of, is wallpaper stripes. You just go all the way across your paper, or you can go halfway across if you want it to just be on half. And I'm going to turn my blotting paper here. Remember that the first place that you touch is where the most ink is going to go. So, stripes. What do you think about wallpaper stripes? Wallpaper stripes. There we go. And looks like we've got 2 more to do. Let's go right here. And I've gone all the way around this other paper. And then on this side, I can just come in. Okay, so stripes. And if you have a darker one, you're going to get darker stripes, of course. But there I have 2 pages ready for my challenge journal. Yay! Stripes and dots. Okay, very cool. Ink and dauber. Ink and dauber. So, for the next one, we're going to switch out and we're going to go to the pink. And I'm working on a little project for Pink October, so I do want some pink things. So let's go ahead and large envelope, it says, my list here. So here's my large envelope that I pulled out of my stash. And then I have some paper lace. This is the lace like you would use around a cake. Okay, so paper lace. We're going to go ahead and I'm actually going to cut this because it's going to be easier for me to maneuver. And then I'll use this lace afterwards in my journal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and line this up. And because I feel really fidgety and like things are moving, I'm going to go ahead and tape this down. Grab some pink tape, pink washi tape. Okay, so that makes it easier for me. I'm going to pull out my spun sugar and my pink. You know what? This is the wrong pink brush because these are for my distress oxides. Okay, you can see I haven't used it yet. But I found out you're supposed to have separate brushes for your distress ink and your distress oxide. So so you can see here, this is marked with pink. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and stenciling does count in your ink and dauber. Okay, so the first time that I do this on this stencil, it's going to take a little more rubbing it in. So we can also try our sponge. Since this is paper, I really like the brush better, but it's not working as fast as the... Okay, again, just like the other, wherever you put your ink first is where you're going to have ink. And you can take a look. You're getting a pretty lace effect. Oh, see, that's why I should have just used regular tape probably. Well, let's go down and get these parts done, and then we'll go back up and do this side. Oh, that works much better. So going around with my brush like that, back and forth. And I'm going to have this lace piece that I can use, or I can just put it in my template to use another time. I do already have one, though, for. Okay. So I did a wedding album, oh my gosh, 1987, 88, somewhere around in there. I had done their wedding flowers. I did all kinds of, the weddings at the flower shops they're not going to do, okay, most of the time. And so this particular bride had saved all the roses, all the flowers that her future husband had ever given her, and dried them. And I took those dried flowers and made her wedding bouquet. So that is the stenciling using the paper lace from the cake department area is where I had gotten. Actually, I got mine at the $1.49 store. Okay, so now we're going to do this again. This time we're going to use an actual piece of lace, and we're going to do the tab, this top tab up here. And I am going to tape it down again. Okay. So I want to pull it tight. Okay, and I want to make sure do a better job of putting that down. So I can save this, and I'll use this a couple more places in that journal, and then I will use the actual piece of lace in the journal. Because at this point I still have lace. Okay. So we're gonna just take this and go down. I'm not gonna you want to go straight in on this one because your holes are very small. Okay. And you could use your dobber. With the dobber. I've got a lot of ink on the desk there. You can see, oop, that was my thumb. Okay, so lace edge for your envelope. Okay, start down here. So this is going to give me a pretty, I'm going to use it as a page in my envelope. So this is our first, or another page idea. Of course, if it was a smaller envelope, you could use it for an embellishment. I'm just looking to see if there's any white areas. Okay. Whatever we get is what we get. Okay, so this is what you've got. And you have your lace edge. Now, I am planning probably to put this in my journal like this. Let's see. If I go to the 5.5, yeah, I can fold this right at the edge of the window was what I was gonna see. Okay, so in the journal you'll have this decorated area and you'll have this decorated, you'll have these pockets. Okay, so that is that one. Using the paper lace and then using actual lace. And if you have like beautiful wedding lace, things like that, you can also use those. Okay, so next I have this this piece of paper, 12 by 12 paper. I'm planning to use this in the Pink October project. Okay, so this is where most of the pink is. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put this on this side, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in a lace doily. Okay, and I think we'll go ahead. As you saw, I had trouble keeping it where it was supposed to be. It's okay to use. Okay, so here we go. And again, we're going to go ahead and you want to come off the edge as well as inside here and get those holes. So remember, for the challenge, you only have to do one page idea using ink and dauber. I'm just giving you several ideas, and I'll be using these for a variety of projects that I'm working on basically now and within the next month. So, okay, and again, your dauber might be better. Try both. But I want to see some color off that edge for sure. And then you can go around your paper. You can add your doily again somewhere else. So when I use it on another page in here, I can use the other side and I'll have a decorated doily also to use in the journal. Okay, so there we have doily, large doily. I'm calling this large doily. So using a doily as a stencil with your ink and dauber or your ink and brush, that is another idea, and it is helping to take care of the back of this. Whether this was going to be for a tag or for a page, it is ready. Okay. So now on this one, we're going to go right onto our page, and I have chosen a stencil. Okay, so I'm going to want more pink on my, I believe. Okay, I think we'll. We can just go ahead and use either the brush or the stencil or the dauber. I really like the brush for these stencils. And I'm going right over the top of my print because I want to bring in some more pink. Where I'm planning to use this. In, like I said, in my Pink October project. So, Pink October, celebrating survivors and of cancers that affect women. Should have picked a darker pink, I think. Yeah, you can see it though. You can see it. I did not test this one. I just came out and started doing it. So maybe pick some places that you make sure are darker so it shows up. But kind of, you know, the mixed media idea. having a lot of things going on the page. This is a little mindless thing that you can do while you're watching other videos. If you're going to, you know, binge watch all the fall collab videos, there is a playlist, and it is in the description box down below. And we have it set up so that the people are able to add their videos to the playlist. So in addition to Kara and myself and the 15 or so fonts that we have, our design team for this project, yeah, you can find them there, or you can use the hashtag J&C Fall 22. Okay, so that one took a little bit of time, but you can see we were able to bring in some pink here using ink and the brush and a stencil. Okay, so we did the doily on the back, and we did this on the front. I really like this area here. So, you know, you can go ahead and just add pieces of this. You don't have to do your whole stencil. You can just go and add pieces of the stencil throughout. What if that's one that we did with the dobber and that's why it looks so good? I don't know. Okay. So just getting a little more texture or something else going on. Okay. So, oh, Tom and we fell down. Where did we fall from? Huh. Okay. So there is using the stencil on the big page. Then we have a small envelope, and we can use the stencil all over. Okay, so let's, if we set it on in this direction, I think that's going to be our best bet. And we can go ahead and stencil all over this envelope, okay? And totally changing our envelope. And I'll probably use this envelope for a double tuck. It's kind of a peachy pink. I used worn lipstick in the challenge, the Nick the Booksmith Deserted Island challenge. So that book was all peachy pink. Okay, so there's that. And then, oh, I should have had the flap open, but I didn't. Okay, so let's... I would suggest that you open the flap, but it's okay. You can just go up to the line. Okay. There's that. And then over here. So you can stencil the entire envelope. You can do this for just even for cards and things that you just want to make them prettier. The stencil, of course, it came from Spectrum Art Creations, one of their Saturday sales. And yay, I finally used it. But I liked it because it was, it had the damask, but it also had some words, some writing. Okay, so there I have stenciled ink and brush, a small envelope, and have that ready. We're still working on ideas. Okay, so our next one is using color on color. So we're going to switch back to our green. We're going to start with super simple here. And I've got a piece of green cardstock and my thing, and we're going to go with the polka dot. Okay, so green on green polka dot. I just don't want you to forget that it is a great thing to do color on color, and if it's not dark enough, just go right over it again. I love the polka dot. Have you done the polka dot before? Okay, so there we've gone color on color, and I think that that is going to be awesome. Okay, so color on color. And another thing is, if you have an embossed paper, you can take your ink and just go over the top of your embossing, and with the same color, okay, and get a different, like where it's raised, having it be darker. Okay, so where it's raised, having it be you can do that with a color in that way, or you can bring in a darker color. I'm going to just have to use a sponge because I don't think I don't know where my dauber is for this. Okay. Okay, so this is black, and you can just go ahead and those were already treated with the okay, so ink and dauber. But that gives us a totally different look, don't you think? Okay, color on color, and then using a different color. And you can add more by after it dries, come back in and add a little more. I love it. Love it. Okay. Okay. So another thing that I like to do, and I'm just gonna find, we'll just do it on this, is to no, we'll grab a real paper. You know what? We'll do it on some cardstock. So using your ink pad is one other way that you can add to your page. Okay, so laying your ink pad down, not pressing, just coming across, and you can get like a wood grain look. which for fall would be great. Okay, so just laying it down. And there you have another background idea. Okay, one other thing I had done in the Nick the Booksmith, because I just went and looked at it, is I took the top edge of my my ink pad and I made lines. Can you see those? I made lines using the top piece of my ink pad in that video. So I made writing lines like that using the ink pad. So, and if you have like one of the smaller ink pads, you can just put that on there, or you can just go ahead and put, you know, stamp your ink pad. And let's see, there you have a square that you can use as a label or something. Okay, so those were extra ideas, and now we are going to take this flashcard and we're going to go to the obvious. And this is my favorite flashcard because, you know, it adds up to the number 8. We'll go ahead and go around this. So just going around the edge, inking. That's an obvious, right? But I didn't want to leave it out because then y'all tell me, oh, well, you can ink around the edge. So there you go, inking around the edge. You might have a cool tag. This is one of my Cricut tags. So just, I like to go in a circle motion around the edge. And if I'm on a paper, I'll get the ink on the paper too. So, there we go. So, inking around the edge. And then I have some flinch cards. So, I have one more thing. So, going around the edge of these have also already been edged with gold pen. Okay, so just like we did those others, just going around the edge can make such a difference. And of course, using like vintage photo or antique linen or something like that, distress ink, gives you great color. So here I have some flowers on this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go around the flowers and where the green would be and add a little bit of the green. Okay, so my green on these flowers, and I'm just starting close to the flowers and going out. Okay, from the little bouquet. From the flower going out. The flower going out. And of course, we'll go around the edge of this also. Okay, and then we can take our pink and we can come in and color in the flowers with our brush. Okay, and if we had a stencil that was the size of these flowers, even better. Okay, and remember, if you have, because a lot of stamps now will have a die cut to go with them, and if you have that die cut, you can go ahead and cut it and make a stencil out of your die cut. So don't forget about being able to do that. So this just gives us a little bit of pink And I'll be able to use these in one of my upcoming projects. Okay, so coloring in your stamps using your ink and your brush or daubers. And here we have our stack of finished bases using ink and dauber, brush, or sponge. So we're going to go backwards looking at these. So we went around the edge, we colored these in, we used the dauber and the brush, and then we inked around the edge of these. That was obvious, but wanted to make sure that you didn't forget and wanted to include this in the video in case you haven't been one that used a lot of ink. We used the actual ink pad and just dragged it across this, and we've got a wood look. I love doing this, especially in like fall and woodland journals. Then we did our color on color using the dot. Okay, that was our dauber. And then we used a sponge and we accented where this paper had been embossed. Okay, embossed with pressure. So we made that in the embossed with pressure video. If you haven't gone and watched that, I highly recommend it. Have you ever embossed using water or coffee and a plaque or a charger plate? So that's what I did in that video. I love that effect, and I highly recommend you go check that out. So it'll be in the description box of this video down below. Then we used the stencil and we covered this whole envelope. We used the stencil on this paper to add more pink to the page. So ink, dauber, brush, and a stencil. Oh, cool. The stencil is coming through. Oh my gosh, I might go do more of that because look, you get double duty. It's coming through onto that page. So then we used the large doily and added it to the 12 by 12 page. Then we used the actual piece of lace and added that there on the tab. And we used the paper lace, and now we've got a page for a journal. Then here we have the stripe, the wallpaper stripe, okay, and the dot. And these are on the other side of digitals, making those ready to go in the journal. And then we have our changing our 12 by 12 paper. And if you want to see a remarkable change, I'm going to also put the wedding album that I made for, it was a Little Mermaid wedding album, or Under the Sea wedding album with a Little Mermaid theme. But I had several pages that were similar to this, and what I did with those turned out amazing. So I'm going to put that, I'll put doing the page, and I will put the journal, and I will put the playlist, because it's one of my favorite things I have ever made. I made it was a gift for the daughter of two of my close friends from growing up got married, and their daughter got married, and she's my friend. As an adult, she's my friend, and I did that wedding album for her wedding. I also did her flowers with her aunt Cindy, and who is like my big sister. So that was pretty awesome. So that was several years ago, and so I just, letting you know, this is not something I've just recently started doing, but that it can totally, by looking at what I did there and seeing how it totally transformed some not so beautiful paper. This is cool paper, but this, I think that the green in the background is just going to make it so much more useful in my, it'll be in one of my fall journals. So it might go in the fall collab. It might go in my Woodland Whispers. Have you checked out the Woodland Whispers digital kit? It is a beautiful digital of all kinds of wild animals and being able to use the woodland animals if you're doing like a woodland, a fairy journal, fall. It's great for fall. So yeah, so this will get this finished. Maybe. Okay, and you can have a variety of, you know, how dark, how light it is. It doesn't all need to be super dark. And on some papers, you'll find that you can just add a little bit of color here and a little bit of color there. But on these that are the stark white and gold, I found that I pretty much like them at least covered in some way, shape, or form all over. So yeah, so of all the things you saw today, was there something new or something that you were like, oh, I want to revisit that? I've got that. I can do that. I would love to know. Make sure you come back and leave that kind of a comment after the premiere. Hint, hint. And so this was Ink and Dauber, a part of the Something Special, September Something Special series. And I think I'm going to need a re-inker for this. I love this pad. I use it a lot. Okay. So there you go. Several ideas for you to be able to use your ink, your dauber, your brush, or a sponge to make beautiful paper pages and ephemera bases. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. Find something to celebrate every day. Don't forget that the fall collab challenge hop is still going on. We'll be revealing our day 2 on Wednesday. Also, Friday's coming up, and I have another freebie Friday in the Scrap All About It with Dear Julie Julie Facebook group. It'll be in the files section on Friday, tomorrow, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to use and to add into your projects. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.